Okay, let's dive in. We're looking at something fundamental today. The invention of flake stone tools.
Right.
Our goal here is really to trace how these things evolved, what problems they actually solved for early humans, and, the huge impact they had, socially, cognitively.
And we have to start with, well, a pretty major update to the story. For a long time, everyone thought Oldowan tools around 2.6 million years ago were the beginning.
Yeah, that's what I learned.
But recent finds changed that. Lomekwi 3 in Kenya. It pushes the date way back
How far back?
to 3.3 million years ago. And the really big thing, that's before the genus Homo even appears in the fossil record.
Wow. Okay, so tool use might actually predate us, in a sense? Technology first?
It certainly looks that way. These Lomekwi tools, they were, let's say, very basic. Cores, fragments, basic multi-purpose bashers and choppers. Anvils, too.
Just kind of hitting things with rocks, essentially.
Well, with intention, but yes, simple reduction. Then you get the Oldowan, maybe 2.6 down to 1.7 million years ago. That's often linked with Homo habilis, the handyman. Still simple tools like choppers, discoids. You see a more deliberate flaking process starting, usually hard hammer percussion, knocking off a sharp flake.
Okay, but then comes the big jump, right? The Acheulean.
Exactly. Starting around 1.7 million years ago. This is where you see the hand axe.
Ah, the classic teardrop shape.
Yes, and it's symmetrical. Bifacially worked, meaning worked on both sides. This wasn't just hitting rocks anymore. This required a two-stage process.
Okay.
And crucially, the maker needed a mental template, an idea in their head of the final symmetrical shape before they started. That's a huge cognitive step.
So real planning involved. What did that payoff look like in terms of survival?
Oh, immediately massive. Think about diet. Raw meat is tough,
Right.
really tough.
Yeah.
Research suggests that just using a sharp flake to slice meat saved early humans something like 2.5 million chews per year.
2.5 million. That's incredible. Freeing up energy.
Precisely. Energy that could fuel a bigger brain.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just meat. Tools let them crack open bones for marrow, super high in calories.
Stuff you just couldn't get at otherwise.
Exactly. Or processing tough plants, roots, seeds, things that needed serious chopping or scraping.
And it wasn't all about food, was it? There are wider implications for just living.
Absolutely. Think about processing wood, cutting branches, shaping them. We see evidence later on, like those amazing 476,000-year-old linked logs at Colombo Gorge.
Yeah.
Probably basic structures.
Made possible by stone tools.
And hide processing. Stone scrapers were vital for cleaning and preparing animal skins. That means clothing.
Which is critical for temperature regulation, moving into new, colder environments.
Right. It opened up the map for human migration.
So there's this feedback loop happening, isn't there, between the tools and the brain?
Definitely. Making that symmetrical Acheulean hand axe the planning, the fine motor control that activates complex brain areas, the frontal lobe for planning, and even Broca's area, which in modern humans is linked to language production.
So making complex tools might actually have driven brain growth, and maybe even language.
It's strongly correlated. That drive for complex manufacturing really seems tied to the big jump in brain size we see with Homo erectus. And it changes society, too.
How so?
Well, you can't just figure out how to make a perfect hand axe on your own easily. It implies learning, transmission of knowledge.
Watching, imitating, maybe even basic instruction.
Quite possibly.
Yep.
It fosters social learning and maybe even specialization. We find sites like Dayao Village in China, basically ancient stone tool factories.
Yeah.
Huge scale production.
Suggesting some individuals were specialists. Division of labor.
It points that way.
Yeah.
And one last thing. That symmetry in the hand axe. Sometimes it's, well, too perfect. More symmetrical than functionally needed.
Meaning?
It hints at something beyond just function. An early sense of aesthetics, maybe. The beginnings of appreciating form. Not just utility. The first glimmers of art, perhaps, embedded in a tool.
That's fascinating. So to wrap this up for you listening, this whole journey with flake stone tools, it wasn't just one invention.
No, it was a long, slow burn. A technical evolution that solved immediate problems like getting enough energy from food, but also paved the way for migration and fundamentally shaped our hands, our societies, and especially our brains.
Right. It forged us. So here's something to think about. If even a 1.7 million-year-old hand axe shows this meticulous planning, this drive for form alongside function, what do you think was the very first human creation that was purely about expression, completely detached from basic survival?